game in here.
I'm thinking old school RuneScape.
Hey guys, gals, non-binary pals, it's me, your host with the most, Dr.JWolfenstein here, and welcome back to the high seas of Vodari. Today we got something amazing for all of you. First of which is that those of you who are watching on Crowlot's stream, hello! Welcome! You can afford to be seeing us! We apparently cannot afford to be seeing other things, though, so give me sextant. I need to put...
You know, the funny thing is, when we were cleaning out the upstairs the other day, we actually found a sextant in one of the drawers.
Okay.
Talk math to me.
It's okay. Somebody gave me a sextant for Christmas. I think it was Christy. But yeah, she gave me a sextant for Christmas. It was the most hilarious gift I've ever gotten. And laughing hysterically. There we go.
Pretty good.
I kind of want to get you an abacus at this point, just to say you have an abacus.
Why would I need an abacus?
No idea, I just feel like you need an abacus.
Okay, fair enough. But anyway, so, welcome so very much. Excuse me.
Stop dying.
I know, it'd be really nice if I could. But, thank you all so very much for coming, and of course, we hope that you enjoy what you see today. So, last time, when we left these goofy people on the high seas, and goofy is the correct words here, goofy, all of
Grimmer
them.
is an extremely serious character. I don't know what you're talking about.
The most
George,
serious.
Mickey. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about.
That was actually pretty good there for the start of that. But, so, with these guys having left the small little sandbar that is barely qualifies as a spit of land. A spit. Tweh! I spit at you. You have been put to spit on. Pteh. And done channeling my inner Frenchman.
Wait, hold up. Before you finish channeling your inner Frenchman, how many people did you kill with that thumb?
I killed 6 men with this thumb.
Why did you go from like French to Mexican in that like split second?
Because French and Mexican are almost the same language. Oh!
All right. Well, good luck. Good luck getting monetized now.
I'm not lying, though.
Trust me. I'm still monetized. I've said worse.
You have.
That wasn't a bad thing to say.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
French and
because
Mexican.
the French and the Mexicans are not going to be happy with that. But at least, I didn't say...
Obviously.
I mean, at least, I didn't pick a side on which version of Spanish is better.
Puerto Rico.
Well,
Are you talking about the lispy ones? Because they're better.
I'm not taking a side on that one, mostly because they're all inferior to Italian, which is the true Latin language. And again, shots fired.
Dude,
the true
Okay,
Latin
okay.
language is Latin.
lispy Spanish is where it's at.
Yeah. I mean, I guess you could say the same about Romanian.
I mean,
Romanian sounds very nice.
But, I mean, Romanian sounds very nice so long as it's coming from a vampire, which, I mean, most Romanian people
It's a
are.
Latin language.
Just don't ask them if they're speaking
No.
Russian. They really don't like it.
Yeah, they hate that.
Yeah.
But it's kind of funny because the people from the Transylvania region, like the north of Romania, they have a very thick accent, and other people usually think it's Russian.
Yep.
That's hilarious. That's very funny.
Mm.
Today's episode of Learning with Dr. Wolfenstein.
Right? But-
insert the end of the thing with the G.I. Joe thing. The more you know.
I think well, actually, no. That graphic is no longer under copyright. It's now free use, or public domain, or whatever they choose to call it. But with that being said, these two islanders that they managed to pick up One was a marooned member of a crew of pirates.
Mr. James Sandian.
Indeed, Mr. James Sandian. And then the other one was Marahon. She is a eagle, a birdfolk, or a skyborn, as they are called in the seas of Vodari, which I do recommend following their Patreon if you haven't already, because it is full of amazing things like this. I will maybe link it at some point in time, possibly. Otherwise, you can definitely look for the Seas of Vodari on Patreon and you will find it. But with that being the case, of course the Vessie's Mercy decided to show some mercy and invite along these individuals. These individuals are proving themselves to be rather useful, mostly because they do have jobs that they can do. Marahon is stationed as the other half of the Crow's Nest of the Scouts, with Arara, and James Sandian is a pretty talented carpenter, from all his own words. So
and he's a writer, so he is able to log the journey.
That is true. He is a biographer.
So wait, you're telling me he's good with wood and he's logging?
Don't start.
Yeah, you opened that one up.
I don't give a damn what kind of Pandora's box I open. Don't start this shit now.
I mean, you know, he's
Oh,
gotta, you know, write it down first.
It's okay. I won't bother you too much with it.
I gotta be honest there, Skull. Anytime you open your damn mouth with a pun or a joke directed at me or anyone else, it bothers me.
I mean, that's more a you problem at this point.
I don't like jokes.
Maybe
We
we'll
know!
encounter a birched whale.
Birched whale. That's reaching. Funny, but reaching. At any rate. So, with that being said, you guys also discovered that there are pirates lurking about who have sunk a ship. Maybe 2 ships. Who knows?
We saved a couple of people.
Indeed, you saved a couple of short people who were on their way, who were enjoying a vacation, one that they haven't had in a long, long time. They saved up for years to afford this vacation and were attacked by pirates on vacation. Isn't that just the worst?
I mean, it's one of the many possibilities in the pirate-infested ocean.
But at least on the bright side, they survived, and we happen to be going where they live. So.
Yep, they are from Vodari, and they are from the town of Valledo, not Vardy itself. But apparently, they own a farm and are willing to pay you in farm goods for their safe return home. So, all in all, you know, it's a plus kind of day, but
nonplussed.
Now you know. I don't English well. I've never claimed to English well.
Proper.
But with that though, you guys are setting sail, and for the most part, it is smooth sailing, choppers.
Weren't we gonna do something before we set sail?
What?
I believe we were going to check on a ship that was possibly sinking, that was closer than what the wreckage of the scuttled ship was.
Ah, yes. Yes, that was made that some of your swimmers would go ahead and take a look as you get closer. Being most of you. And particularly those who can breathe underwater for a long time. So, in the Roll20 chat, type 1 if you're going to investigate the sinking ship.
I was going on the rowboat with them, so I will type a 1.
Yes.
I can't breathe underwater, but I was going to go on the rowboat with them.
Yep.
And I believe Roan was going as well, but I honestly don't know where she is, if she's here at all.
She is in the game. She is on the deck of the ship. In real life, she is not feeling well. Chronic migraines due to storms and stressful couple days. So she is resting and recovering as well. She should be.
Currently incapacitated.
Yep. And our heart goes out to her, and we wish her a speedy recovery. With that, though, Valor, Skull, and Grimir have volunteered to lead the party forward into the breach.
Please, not into the breach. Let's not do a Pacific Rim reference.
Are you saying you don't want to pilot giant mechs?
I mean, I would.
Yeah, I was gonna
but
say,
maybe...
are you saying you don't want to go giant
Are you
mech
complaining
fights?
about fighting kaiju right now?
Okay, look, I would fight a kaiju, just maybe in the more appropriate setting.
Listen,
I mean,
my
fair enough.
entire character is based around fighting kaiju. I want kaiju.
That's true.
Okay.
He is a monster hunter essentially.
Okay, rephrased. I would not be opposed to fighting kaiju using gigantic mechanical monsters, but I would appreciate doing that in the appropriate setting, not in a pirate-themed campaign where the closest we're ever going to get to that is robotic fish tanks.
Hey, if they can have giant robots battling each other in codename Kids Next Door with, 2x4 technology, I don't see why we couldn't have it here, but I'm not going to do it.
Actual kindergartners using mechs, and you're saying pirates can't? Okay.
But anyway, so Grimir, hello. Grimir, Valor, and Skull, you get on the longboat, and you, thankfully you're all sober, so, they don't need to put you in the longboat until you're sober, but they are going to row you out, you're going to row yourselves out, a little ways.
It's not with the captain's daughter.
I mean, it's Nyafta, I don't know that you have a daughter.
I don't.
At least not
Do
that
I?
we know of.
I was gonna say, was that a question mark? Like,
What?
do you know if you have a daughter? Like, is that a question you're asking? You're like, do I have a daughter?
I don't recall delivering, let alone carrying.
So you're saying adoption was never an option?
Uh-huh.
I mean,
I'm a horrible person. Ignore me.
These fists were never an option.
I mean, but boots are always made for walking.
Why are we talking about punching pregnant people?
I never. Well, I have nothing against punching a pregnant woman. I will, however, punch my pregnant coworker.
You have
because she's a
nothing
bitch.
against punching? Okay, Ron.
I
Moving
mean,
on.
it depends on the context.
My pregnant coworker is a raging bitch.
Oh, well,
Right.
it's not baby's fault. But anyway, moving right along. So, as you guys
Thank you.
arrive at the pretty, you can see a lot more debris in the ocean at this point. A lot more broken pieces, a lot more floating bobs and such of that nature.
Since I'm swimming along, I do want to go slightly under the water and see what I can, see.
Sure. Roll a perception check.
That one, let's go.
Oh,
I'll take
he
an 18.
perceives.
Indeed he does.
You
He's
see ocean. You
he's
see
the
miles and miles
perceiver.
of
Feel
ocean.
it in my feet. Feel it in my toes.
Well, so of your perception check, what you end up being able to see as a sailor who went to CCC, to see what you could see CCC.
While I sing my ABCCCs.
See,
And here comes the puns.
I mean, most of those were song lyrics. But anyway, score. As you get under the water, you are in fact able to see the back half of a ship. Mostly because the front half, you can see has broken off and fallen away into the abyss that this ship is mostly hanging by or hanging off of.
Oh, so a Titanic itself off a drop-off.
Something of that nature.
Nemo, get your ass over here and touch the butt.
I'm gonna touch the butt. As I
Um,
swim off towards the ship.
do you alert the other
Yes, I'm
members
going-
of your crew?
Yeah, I'm gonna let them know that the front of the ship has already sunk and it's on the precipice.
The back half is on the precipice. The front half has sunk into the depths of the abyss.
Down to my
Well-
home.
I don't know what you're gonna find down there, but I mean, just don't bring up any dead bodies. I guess leave them where they
Right.
lie.
Can I breathe
More
in the water?
pirates. I'm hoping to find
Let's see.
I don't think I have anything that specifically says I
Let's
breathe.
see. Dwarves.
I have from the depths, which means I
Yes,
ignore
you have
drawbacks.
So from the depths, you have a swim speed of 30 feet, and you can breathe air and water. You ignore
Oh.
any of the drawbacks caused by a deep underwater environment.
Oh, I need to update that so it has the beginning then. Okay.
Also, you have a resistance to fire damage.
I jump in the water and swim after Skull.
Cool.
Me just sitting up here on the little cannonball on this fucking rowboat, just like, well, I can't swim underwater.
Well, I can't breathe underwater.
I mean, I can swim underwater. Getting back up to the surface is the tough part.
Yeah, snakes are
especially with all
great
that
at swimming.
armor.
Well, so the beautiful thing about swim speeds is so long as you have one, you basically get to ignore most of that shit. But, most of the time. Anyway.
You know,
Grimir-
when I think about it, Grimir and Skull moving through the water, we both have a 30-foot movement speed. We just zoom.
Yep.
Yes.
Zoom,
That'd be
zoom,
kinda
zoom.
Terrifying to see under the water. Just
So, Skull, you're a jellyfish or octopus person, I believe, yeah?
yes, octopus.
So, Grimir, you're watching Skull move through the water with, like, jet propulsion, basically. You
Yeah.
watch him do the whole, woo, inflating, and then psh,
Mhm.
and, like, push himself forward. You, however, you have webbing in your hands. You have the, like, sleek gill or sleek fins on your arms. You're more like a Zora from, Legend of Zelda, moving
And
through the water.
I've got my cannon in front of me as I'm
Yep.
pushing it through the water.
I've got a spear in hand.
You may not be able to fire the thing, but you can hit somebody with it.
Oh, I can thwack.
Yep. And it is a heavy-ass cannon, so it's like, I will hit you with this!
It doth thwack underwater.
It doth indeed thwack.
I'm just gonna be sitting up on the rowboat, and all of a sudden I'm gonna see a nuclear explosion go off from underneath the water, and just be like, well, there goes Grimir.
It's like, alas, poor Yorick. I knew him well.
I lived.
Yep, and then just, boop. I live! So tell me what mortal needs our protection, great ancestor.
Listen to
You
the TV
just,
screen. It says live! Live!
you just say the word, and I'm there.
The more I think of Atlantis, the guy that blows shit up.
Yeah.
Vinny?
Yeah, I got the 15 pieces of dynamite. I got a couple of cherry bombs. I got the
Road flare. Hey,
Oh,
too
do
bad
I
we
sound
don't have
right?
nitroglycerin, eh, Milo?
The more I see of Grimir, the more I think of him.
Yeah, right.
Just a slightly more unhinged version.
Mm.
It must be 1,000 feet high at least. It must have taken centuries. No, it must have taken decades, no centuries to carve this thing. Hey, look, I made a bridge. Only took me like what? 10 seconds.
Like 10 seconds?
11 tops. See, again, Disney with their live action wokeness, it's like, bro, you have a movie that's a straight up slam dunk for all of it. The white guy's the bad guy. There's all kinds of POCs. Just make the movie. Like, come on!
Well, no, see, just
Rourke's the bad guy.
I know Rourke's the bad guy, but like, just leave Atlantis alone. They're already fucking up the rest of it. They've done Snow White how many fucking times? And they're doing another one?
That no one's gonna see. I can't wait. But anyway.
If I saw this movie on a plane, I'd still walk out.
Yep. So, both of you go ahead and roll me another perception check. Skull and Grimir.
Yes.
Perception.
Perception.
I have a spyglass on.
Grimir's just like, ooh, you can swim.
The back of my cannon looks really good.
I do have a spyglass. With my spyglass, can I look around to see if there's any ships nearby? I mean, I highly doubt there is.
Yeah, roll a
but-
perception with advantage.
Oh, thank God I have advantage, because that was a shit roll.
You can see a faint smudge way off in the distance, getting smaller.
Double checking the lens of my spyglass.
I mean, the smudge is still there if burly. So, as the two of you get closer to the ship, Skull, you see that the ship cracked in half when it landed on this precipice. And you realize that it's more of like 2/3 of the ship fell off into the abyss, and the back third is all that's left. Unfortunately,
Half at the casino.
Unfortunately, anybody in the front, like the bow and the main areas of the ship, they're all fucking dead. If they weren't dead from the sinking and the fucking drowning, unless they're a citizen of the deeps, they're gonna be killed by the pressure. Also, Skull, since you come from a very different place than Grimir, mostly
I come from those crushing depths.
indeed, but so there's no town nearby. And actually, for the first time on stream, I'm going to introduce everybody to the Under the Seas map.
Ooh.
So, everybody, so my lovely audience, as you all know, I am using both the Seas of Vodari and Under the Seas of Vodari content. The amazing people at Trilabity Publishing have in fact come up with two distinct maps. One for the underwater civilizations, and one for the above. You've all been seeing the regular Seas of Vodari map. I would be proud as punch to present to you for the first time the Under the Seas map. And my players I'm going to show you as well. Bada bing.
Bada bing.
Hey, where be where they shoot. So, this is the Under the Seas map. As you can all tell,
Oh, so we're right around here. Okay.
Yep. So
we're
right
close
around.
to Sirenia, and
It's on the other
Mars.
side of the main island, but
Yes, it's on the other side of these islands. But yeah. So the ship that you're seeing cracked kind of here. But with all that being the
Might have to
case,
just pay a visit to Damari while we're in the area.
It's entirely possible. But around here, this is a rather steep set of slopes and plateaus. Oh, thank you, Halar, for joining the volunteer list. I appreciate it, but we do not allow discords in the chat, just for privacy and safety's sake. Lots of crazy people in the world. But thank you for the follow, and thank you for volunteering. This particular place isn't home to anybody, mostly because, again, it's so close to the rage. In fact, much like Total War Warhammer 2 and 3, you can see the titanic whirlpool that is the rage. And you can see it coming down from the tops of the ocean water and spiraling up, technically, because it's a funnel, so technically it's going down. But you can see the spiral from under the water. It is impossible not to notice. Again, imagine it like looking at a tornado in the flats of Tornado Alley. There is no way you don't notice it.
It's just one of those things that we're so used to seeing that we kind of start ignoring it.
Indeed, but you also are very well aware of the fact that, yeah, you probably shouldn't get too close. And this ship is on this precipice where most of that ship has probably been sucked towards the rage. However, as you enter, this ship was a 3-deck ship. This was a galleon. A very large ship, and from what you can see, it's been underwater. It hasn't been underwater long. Mostly because you're still catching the remnants of the feeding frenzies that are happening. You are catching the sharks, you're catching the other fish schooling around, trying to find morsels. And this is the skull. You would know this is the beginnings of the frenzies. Now, there's a danger in that in and of itself, because a bunch of fresh blood like this and fresh bodies tend to attract larger predators. And with you being so close to the rage, sea dragons would not be an unheard of sight. You figure you have maybe a day before this becomes a no-fly zone or a no-sailing zone, based off of your many years hunting larger creatures like this. There's no way to really communicate with the two of you underwater. But you're both equipped.
We should actually both be able to speak under.
Oh yeah, because you can both breathe. So if you can both breathe, you can both speak. That's right. Vodari added that. So, the two of you kind of see the wreck. You see kind of what's going on in the deceased passengers, who are all dressed in finery or clothes that are meant to be relaxed in. What's your plan here, Chiefs?
Well, first I'll share my take with how long we have with Grimir, but obviously this was a pleasure cruise. I am all for seeing if we can get into the captain's cabin where most of the loot would be stored.
It is the back half of the ship.
Are we... I mean, we should, save the people, yeah?
People are dead.
They are all in the
everybody's
process
dead.
of being eaten.
The process of?
So, again, just a reminder, you can see that the dead passengers are being eaten. Anyone who sank to these depths is dead from the drowning and the pressure alone. Any survivors would have had to be near the surface.
It's actually possible now I think about it. The partial bits of the other ship that we saved those other two from, it could have been a group of ships all together, and they could have just been floating nearby enough to have been saved.
I could go check the surface above the ship and see if I can find any survivors. if you want to
If you
go
want.
start checking the ship.
Oh, well, you could also let Valor know what's going on so he can keep an eye out, too.
Oh, that's a good idea. I'll go tell him to check the surface above the ship, and then I'll come join you.
I
So,
feel like an errand boy.
maybe. So, Grimir heads up. Skull, you head further in. Why don't both of you roll me initiative checks? We'll see who goes first where.
Bing.
All right, Grimir. So you're a little quicker off the mark, and as you head up to the surface, again, only takes you basically a few rounds, but you get up to the surface and you see Valor kind of looking or looking at something in the distance on his spyglass, and eventually he seems to lose sight of it because he puts his spyglass down.
Okay. I'm just gonna point over towards the surface where the where it would where I think it would be above the ship, and just say, go check the surface and see if there's any survivors.
You know what? That's actually an idea. Since we would need
Hold on
the
one
marker
second.
to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Valor.
I'm just gonna say that and then go back down.
I mean, just sure, I can go do that. Just make sure Skull doesn't get himself killed by sharks. I hear octopus is a delicacy amongst sharks.
Nah, there's none big enough to eat him. And then I'll duck back down.
Before I dive down to the ship when I'm over it, I'm actually going to light one of the bioluminescent torches I have.
Mhm.
And I'm going to let it float back up to the surface to give a proper marker for Valor.
Okay.
That works.
And
And then I start rolling over.
you're in the middle of the debris field and it's mostly clearing. But you can definitely take a look around as you do so. Skull, by the time you light your torch and then start swimming down, Grimir is hot on your heels. But you are going to arrive at the gaping wound of the ship much earlier. You can see that the explosion or whatever tore this ship apart didn't do the complete job of it. You can see that you can see that there was likely some kind of wound towards the keel, but the rest of this damage happened when it finally sank and cracked against the rock and the coral at the bottom of the ocean. So you can see 3 decks. You can see 3 floors, and then, of course, the main deck. And then, of course, the little raised edge where you imagine private quarters would be, and then, of course, the stairwell leading down to the various decks. So where would you like to investigate first?
I think, given the current situation, starting from the bottom up is going to be the best plan of action.
Okay.
Actually, that's something I figure I should ask. Like, the ship, did it, because of how ships generally sink, did the ship land on its, I guess, top, or did it land on the bottom? And
Did
then
it
split in half?
capsize, or did it just go straight?
So it went, it didn't capsize. It went straight down.
Okay.
Again, being a flat piece. So, essentially, it still kept on the water, parallel to the water line, and then just slowly sank beneath in that fashion.
So it's not on the side or anything. It's just
It's tilted, but not
right.
not
It's
100%.
a natural tilt that you would from the way the wood is made.
Uh-huh.
It's probably leaned up against a rock or something.
But I'm gonna start from the bottom up.
Okay. So, the bottom is actually pretty easy to explore. This is the hold. There's nothing in here. Like, it is empty, and you imagine this is probably where a lot of the goods and a lot of the supplies were existing. And it seems that the pirates, true to your guest's word, took everything. You, however, do see that towards the back is a an iron door with bars. And you realize that's probably the brig.
A brig on a ship like that? Okay, let's go check that brig.
Most ships have a brig.
Not pleasure ships usually.
Well, you know,
got a,
have to have a
put the
drunk
ratty-
tank.
pretty much.
Okay.
So as you
I thought we just set them off with the captain's daughter. Way up she rises way.
as you make your way towards the door, you grab onto it. It is locked because it doesn't seem to move when you like try to apply pressure to open it up. But you look inside. It's a typical cell. A little smaller than the average room. You can see that there are cots or like beds kind of nailed to the sides, so they're off the floor. And you do in fact see one body amongst the inside this chamber. It appears to be a half-orc of some description. He's not wearing nice clothes. They're pretty raggedy looking. The other thing that you can tell right off the bat is he's like, if that shirt was that shirt is not red naturally. Most of that shirt is red on the front and like the sleeves, but the whole backside of the shirt is actually a pale cream color. And so he was clearly involved in some kind of fight or some kind of altercation in which a lot of blood was spilled.
Shifty.
I'll give a quick cursory glance around and see if I can find the key. If not, I'm not gonna focus too much on it.
No, you can't find the key. Probably lost when the ship hit the ocean floor.
Just do what I did the last time I came across a loft break the door.
I'm not too worried about a dead prisoner.
And by the time you swim out, Grimir has arrived back on the scene. And Grimir, you see Skull coming from the empty, the bottommost floor of the ship. Likely the hold where all the goods and stuff were stored and things of that nature.
Find anybody alive?
No one alive, nothing worth keeping.
Hmm.
We've got two more floors. We got two more decks at least, and then we can see about the captain's quarters.
Okay. Where do you want me to look?
Let's not split up with as many predators are out here, and let's continue on through the middle here.
Okay.
Alright. So you can see where some kind of wall would have been, though when the ship kind of tore itself apart, part of this wall went with it. And you can see that from the remnants of the door that's in place, it's a double door, kind of grand decoration looking. Maybe a ballroom, maybe to the galley. You're honestly not sure. But the back half of this ship is where the crew seems to have their quarters, because you see a lot of bunk beds or a lot of hammocks tied to posts. You see a couple of doors leading into what could be rooms. You'd have to investigate, but they're all closed. You see one or two bodies floating through the debris in here. It seems that they haven't been, none of the wildlife has come in yet, as most of the bodies seem to kind of pour out.
Okay. Yeah, I'll start checking rooms and trying any doors that are closed.
Okay. And, Grimir, you do the same, I take it?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Both of you roll me a perception.
Perception. Perceptly. Ooh, I perceive.
Grimir, the door you open actually opens to private quarters of some kind.
Ooh.
You can see that it is nicer than most quarters. The bed seems to be built into the floor. It's a bed big enough for two people to sleep comfortably. You can see that there's a wooden trunk or chest kind of attached to the wall and floor. You can see a desk and a chair. You see a couple of now waterlogged books kind of like, floating or sunk to the floor or just stuck in their place. Other than that, nothing living in here, nothing dead in here, like you don't see any bodies. But it does look like this room was occupied. You can see that there's the wardrobe in here is open and you can see clothes like fluttering out. They look to be like larger clothes, so probably humanoid or human or elven or, taller people clothes.
Anything valuable?
You can check the trunk, but nothing super valuable jumps out at you right at this moment.
Yeah, I'll check the trunk.
Okay. Let me roll something on my handy dandy chart. Okay. You find that this particular trunk, it has a lock, but it's not engaged. Like the padlock is like hanging open. But it does have a lock. It just isn't locked up tight.
I'll pop it open.
So, as you pop it open, inside you see more clothes, more expensive looking clothes. They appear to be like scattered around, and when you like open the lid, they kind of like float up for a moment before settling kind of back down towards the trunk itself. Go ahead and roll an investigation check here.
Investigating.
So you are looking around, and there's a couple of clothes that like didn't move at all when you open the trunk, and you check them, and there is like weight to them in certain places. You end up scouring through these clothes and come up with like 10 silver pieces.
Cool.
The clothes themselves are not necessarily going to be irreversibly damaged, but are of a higher quality. So, I mean, if you really wanted to, you could, make off with the clothing, dry it out, and sell it somewhere. A lot of the clothing, though, is... roll me intelligence.
Oh, very, very...
I'm
very fashion oriented.
Yeah, no, I mean they're fancy rich people clothes.
Would any of them fit me?
No.
Okay.
Like you try to put on like one of the like fancy tailcoats and you end up ripping the arms off.
Damn. Almost became a fancy man. Yeah, I'll just take the silver and bounce out of that room.
No worries. Skull, as you open your door, you see that it is, again, it's similar to, it's a multi-person room. You can see that there are, like, 2 berths in here. There also seem to be, like, trunks, like foot lockers almost, at the base of each bed. Other than that, it appears to be lower value accommodations.
I imagine going through all the rooms, it's going to be more of the same of what you just went through with Grimir, so it'd just be a bunch of that, going through the rooms, checking foot lockers and everything to find whatever valuables we can.
Ultimately, over the course of the whole search, go ahead and roll me an investigation check, though.
Investigate, good times, come on.
So you actually have a little more luck than Grimir. You're able to come up with a couple gold pieces, like 6 gold pieces, as well as, about 12 silver pieces. The thing that is the most valuable, though, is the gemstone you end up finding. It is a small thing. It is a semi-precious gemstone, but it is highly polished and looks well maintained and taken care of. So probably worth like 20 gold pieces of it on its own. But ultimately speaking, yeah, you guys end up finding pretty much nothing more. Other than the one other interesting piece you find is a waterlogged accordion.
I'm taking that accordion.
All right, you now have an accordion.
And suddenly Skull is multi-classing into a bard.
We have a bard on ship. I want to see if he can play the accordion.
You mean
She probably can.
I'm talking about
I just need
Scandian.
an accordion.
I mean,
I'm talking about the new guy we picked up.
Not true.
Is
When
he
I
actually a
first
bard?
encountered
The
him,
other
he was
bard.
playing music.
Yes, he can. He does play an instrument. So, it is possible he plays the accordion.
He plays an instrument and he tells stories. Therefore, I see him as a bard. I
Alright.
know our captain's a bard, but I'm not going to walk up to the captain and be like, "Here, play this." That's a good way to get yourself kicked off the ship.
That's true. It is a little rude to go up to your captain and go, "You play music now!"
You're gonna end up being like that fat kid from fucking Shrek 3. Either are.
Did I?
Get her. I know you, daddy. I didn't know Queso was in the audience. I'm lying. He don't watch my shit. How crazy would that be, though, if he did?
Dude, imagine if you said that and then you had it pop up in the chat, just Queso saying, "Oh, really?"
Right? He probably banned me. Love you, Queso. I bought that stupid supermarket simulator game just because you played it. I haven't
had
actually.
a friend buy it for me.
I actually haven't played it yet. I'm actually looking forward to it though. It looks kind of fun.
I'm not gonna lie. For whatever reason, it hits different to work in the supermarket when you're playing the fucking simulator games.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'll
Either.
never go back to that job. I tried to never go back to those jobs, but doing those jobs on the computer for whatever reason is so much fun.
Yep. But anyway, I digress. Red today because I want to scare people with blooded-looking French fries.
Okay. Well, after the rooms, I want to check the floaters too.
Not a lot of floaters left outside.
I'm talking about the ones inside the hall.
Right. The ones inside, they're carrying a couple of coins between them. Mostly their pockets are full of like copper. You end up with like 35 copper pieces scattered amongst them all. And although one guy in particular has a set of liar's dice. He has like 6 dice. All D6s, all made of like bone or some like sturdier substance. And so yeah, you got a set of liar's dice.
Ooh.
Though what the fuck they're doing playing liar's dice on a goddamn pleasure cruise? You know,
can find people willing to gamble anywhere.
that's true.
The crew
Don't-
needs something to do in their downtime too, you know.
Don't I fucking know it? You can find horrific gamblers anyway.
Okay, let's be fair. I carry a fucking dragon chess board around just for the fucking sake of, well, let's play some dragon chess while we wait.
True. And I mean, I usually walk around with at least one deck of playing cards. So,
Yeah,
there's one deck of playing cards in my car somewhere.
I have a deck of playing cards in my car, and I have 3 next to me right now.
I'm not talking
Yes,
about
and-
how many decks of cards I have in this room because it's not exactly a small number. But
you can
moving
take the
on.
dealer out of the casino, but you can't take the casino out of the dealer.
Man, I've been collecting playing cards since before I ever worked in a casino.
Dude, I have a set of old Harvey's playing cards from when my grandma went there and when she turned 21.
Nice. But anyway,
Used to have a poker chip from Las Vegas.
So that's about all you find on the floaters inside. The next deck is
Captain Ziggy, thank you for the follow. Our DM is the lovely Dr. John Wolfenstein here. Welcome on in. We hope you enjoy the tale.
Thank you. But the next deck is more ballrooms and more like open space for people to dance. It's also clearly more lower economy class beds or berths, because you see a lot more hammocks. You also see like fake walls that have beds and such. Nothing of value here. Seems pretty much whatever was here was cleaned up pretty nicely.
Okay. I guess the real question left then is, did they ever actually get into the captain's quarters?
The captain's cabin is actually going to be beneath the wheel. So you guys head up to the main deck, you head up to the deck, and as you're heading to the deck, you are able to, what's the word I'm looking for here? You're able to see the double doors that would lead into a captain's cabin.
Hopefully they're locked.
Yep.
Wait, the door's locked?
It is.
Hey, Grimir, we gotta bust into this room.
Okay. I smash the lock with my hammer, or with my cannon.
Roll an attack roll.
I think he
22.
hits it there, Chief.
Oh yeah.
Boy.
Definitely just smash.
Do I
And,
see a bit of do I see some like vibration ripples from the top of the surface there?
Nah, he's not that strong yet.
I am going with that hit. I'm going to turn around to keep an eye on where the feeding frenzy was, just to make sure none of them come after us because of the vibration.
Yeah, sure. None of them do that you can see anyway. So there's good news there.
Yeah, I'm
Whatever
just
you
gonna
do,
keep
just
an eye
don't-
on that one.
Whatever you do, just don't start bleeding.
Isn't that always
the
good
two-
advice?
The two things that will immediately attract a shark: blood in the water or thrashing vibrations.
Yep. Seems though that they're creating enough of their own thrashing vibrations out there in the
Plenty of blood and water.
out there in the aguas. So
As long as we aren't hearing "Get in the Water" played off in the distance by a haunting voice.
no, you just hear the dana dana
Mm-mm. No, that's fine.
dana dana.
That causes no concern at all.
There's blood and blood in the water.
However, you do
What happened, door?
you do in fact break the door. Mostly you realize that you rip the handle, the ornate handle, out of the wood, and it opens more easily that way. But it does fall open. Inside, excuse me. Inside, you find a half elf. With half a face, as he is little ripe there. He is dressed in his captain's finery. He has a blue and green captain's coat. On the back of it, that you can see because he is floating and kind of spinning ever so slightly. On the back of it, though, you can see there's some kind of leaf.
I understand this reference.
Like tree leaf?
You're not sure if it's a tree or if it's some kind of other plant, but there is a leaf on it. And the leaf is like etched in, like stenciled in like gold. Very fine looking thread, all things considered. You do see a hat kind of on the floor, probably waterlogged by now. It is a tricone. It had a nice feather in it, although now the feather is probably ruined, as it's just kind of stuck to the side of the hat at this point. You see that
I'm taking that hat.
Okay, you now have a tricone hat. You can see that the captain's chest has been busted open, but it's been busted open from the top. Like, he either got rid of the key somehow, or wouldn't give it to them and hid it well enough, but you can see that there's a big hole in the top of the chest. You can also see that there is a book in a very interesting glass box. This glass box appears to is not like attached to the desk it's on, but you don't see any water inside the box.
Tight box? Okay.
Indeed, it is at the very least a watertight box, made of glass, no less. And so what you're assuming to be the captain's journal is inside that box.
Huh. Well, I think we should take the box, but let's search the rest of the room first.
I would like both of you to roll an investigation check.
Yes.
Investigations.
Investigations.
I be investigating.
Oh, he do be.
You do be indeed, as you are able to find...
Oh, he finds it.
Uh-huh. You... Skull, the thing you find is actually insanely interesting. The reason for that being that let me see, where did it go? Some people would have passed them up. And what I mean by that is that unless you would need these, you wouldn't want to keep them. You've seen these before. These are a pair of goggles. They have crisp black lenses and seem to be pretty heavily colored. And in fact, you put them over your eyes and all the color and all the light in here, granted not much, but even what little there is darkens by a fair deal. You have heard of these before. They are uncommon, but not impossible to find. They are goggles of daywalking. While wearing these goggles, if you have sunlight sensitivity, you get to ignore that condition.
I could see those selling for a pretty penny at least.
At least if you find a good vampire to sell them to.
Or a drow. Or a kobold, even. Grimir, the thing you find is actually a little less interesting, but still very fun, because this man has 2 rings on his finger. One of which is a signet ring, and it has a leaf on the ring. The signet ring...
It matches the jacket?
Indeed it does. It is identical.
Free man.
It is made of gold, and you can tell that it is expertly crafted. This is on his right finger. Though why he still has it, if he's been searched, you honestly don't know. The other ring is just as interesting. This ring is carved from bone or tusk or tooth or something, but on the top it has an insignia of a kraken.
Ooh.
Hey, Skull, do you think these rings are cursed?
I wouldn't say they're cursed, but either way we should take the signet. We could always you can probably get some money off of that.
I mean, if you don't think they're cursed, I'm gonna take them both.
Oh, definitely. We
Okay.
take everything we can. I'm gonna check the chest.
Yeah.
As you take the signet ring off,
Mm-hmm.
you
And it was cursed.
you watch. So you take the bone ring off, and you take the signet ring off. As you do, a ripple happens, and you can see now that this man isn't a typical half elf. He is a half drow.
Oh, it was an illusion.
Context clues. That's why we had the goggles of daywalking.
Apparently, he inherited his elven parentage's unfortunate blocking.
Skull. The ring was cursed. He's a drow now.
He's a drow
I don't think
now.
that's a curse. I think that was an illusion.
Oh, okay.
If you put it on, you might get tall for once.
Oh.
I don't recommend putting it on until we can have someone verify that, though.
I put the ring on.
As
just
you-
for my own sanity,
Mm-hmm.
what was the total amount of gold or money that we got from the things? Because I'm still doing the party loot thing that I got.
6 gold pieces, 12 silver,
silver.
and
Yeah,
30
I got 10
thir-
silver.
and 32 copper pieces.
It was 35.
Oh, 35, excuse me. And then a semi-precious gemstone worth 20.
Thank you.
Which I'll be putting the gemstone into the ship's coffers.
As you try to put the ring on, it doesn't fit on any of your fingers.
Ah. Damn. Oh, I got fat fingers.
Skull, I got fat fingers.
Well, bring those fat fingers over here. We might be able to find a hidden compartment on the chest that thieves might have missed.
I can't
Oh.
find hidden compartments good, but I can smash it if you want.
Oh,
Find a compartment, smash a compartment, same difference.
said every bard ever.
This is the way of pirating.
Yep.
I'm not a pirate. I'm a privateer.
Wait, are we pirates? Pirates are bad guys, aren't they?
Technically, we're privateers.
You're not there. Shh.
Valor, you're not here. I'm asking Skull in character.
Oh
If
shit.
you want to be technical about it, we're privateers. But the difference between privateers and pirates isn't very big. Especially in the eyes of the law around here. We're no better than mercenaries to most.
Mercenaries good. Pirates are like, they like straight up steal stuff, right? I mean, that's like all they do.
They also murder. As I look around at the,
I
as I look
mean-
back at the body. But we do that too in a very much more dignified manner.
I do it, but it's usually pirates.
Okay, well that's what privateering is about. Let's loot.
Okay.
just the I have no idea how to explain this.
I don't have the time or the crayons to explain this to you.
Okay, are we trying to break open the that chest or the little chest thing?
Break it open more, yes.
Okay. I will attempt to assist in this.
Alrighty. Investigation or attack roll, your choice.
I'm gonna start with investigation to see if I can find any hidden latches or anything.
I'm gonna let him do his investigation first. I'm like watching Skull as he's like tinkering with this little intricate chest, and I've just got my culverin raised above my head.
ready to smash whatever comes
Yeah.
out.
I'm just waiting for him to like set it down or something.
You don't find any secret compartments or latches. You do find a spare captain's coat. Again, carved with that intricate leaf.
Yeah, well, we'll take the coat. That and the signet could probably net us something.
Are you going to let Grimir smash?
Yes, after I get the coat out.
That's funny for many reasons. Alright, give me a second.
Skull gets back up on top of the surface, and Valor's like, "Hey, what took you so long?" He's like, "Oh, it's nothing. I just had to let Grimir smash my box."
Wow.
Unhinged things in D&D.
Indeed.
I think you guys keep forgetting that I am not mentally stable.
But I mean,
No,
that
no,
is
I
100.
remember it.
That is 100% accurate description of what happened. So Grimir smashes box,
Grimir smashes box.
and you smash box, and as you're flailing about, cracking it open and breaking it apart, you find a golden fish hook.
Yes!
He says triumphantly, holding up a golden fish hook.
Yeah, well,
got
you
it.
take that. I'll grab this. As I'm going to grab the glass case, and so we can start making our way out.
On the surface, meanwhile, Valor. Roll me perception check with advantage, you scurvy dog.
Advantage. Perception. 10.
You
Better than 4.
search and you search. You find a couple dead bodies. You're about to grab for one when a shark comes up and drags it under. And you're like, okay, hands in the boat.
No, me, I'm just like, wait a minute. Checking on my fingers.
Mm-hmm. You're like, okay. Fingers attached, hands in boat. You do, however, find a couple crates that are still sealed.
I guess I'll look in the crates. I kind of like bring him into the rowboat first. I'm not getting in the water. Fuck that.
They're too big to fit into the rowboat.
Oh.
You can attach some rope to them, because you did bring rope, and drag them back to the ship.
Well, I will do that. I will do that in the most effective way possible, using sailing knots, because I know how to do that.
Alrighty. And by the time you've secured the two crates, Grimir and Skull emerge from the water and are bobbing, like looking up at you.
Do I see the leaf symbol on the jacket he's holding?
Not yet.
I am excitedly showing you the golden fish hook that I found, though.
Well done, Grimir.
Thanks.
Are you going to use that? Are you going to use that as an ear piercing, or are you going to try and sell that?
I don't really want to stab my ear. I don't know.
Oh, and let it be known I have
like
a tricorn.
Do we have like a treasure chest I can put it in with all the rest of our gold? I think I'd like to like drop it into the treasure chest. That sounds satisfying.
We do have a treasure chest. We have a coffer. It's on the ship, but we have to get to the ship first. So get in the boat.
Okay, but I want to drop it in though.
I will absolutely let you do that. It's yours. You do
Okay.
what you want with it.
Awesome.
As for you, Skull, did you guys find anything
He is now wearing a tricorn.
Yep.
aside from that?
I'm going to toss the accordion, the goggles, and the coat all into the rowboat. Yeah, boat. That's it. Mini boat.
Hey, Valor, roll me a D100, will ya?
E100.
Oh.
Yeah, no, Captain Ziggy's got it right. Privateers are basically pirates for hire. Mercenary pirates.
91.
So as this ship is tossed, or as this accordion is tossed into the ship, you hear a "bleh" as it hits on the flat side and sprays you in the face with water.
Like I kind of like I probably had my mouth open at that time, so as like I'm no longer being sprayed in the face, you just see me spitting out like a little stream of water.
Skull's face is blank.
Classy, Skull. Classy. Get in the fucking rowboat.
He did. You
At
tossed.
At least you got wet too.
Given that I can probably swim faster than we can row, I'm going to just pull the boat.
Okay. You toss
you may want-
toss-
I'll assist you with that.
Well, yeah, obviously. You toss the book in, the accordion, and what else?
So I'm tossing the book, the accordion, the goggles, and the coat.
Now do I see the signal, the signet on the coat?
Skull, roll a d20.
This is to determine how the coat lands.
Indeed it is. You do!
Oh. That's a house tea leaf signal, isn't it?
Are you asking me or them?
Well, see, I'm almost 100% certain, but I would like to roll a history check just to make sure.
Cool. Roll it.
Which one is it? That one. 17. I forgot to take my advantage toggle
You're
off.
fine. Yes, that is 100% a House Tea Leaf crest. This ship was a ship that belongs to House Tea Leaf.
Right, so as we're being pulled, I kind of like look back at Skull as I'm like rowing furiously. Right, so when we get to what was it? Vodari? Yeah, Vodari. When we get to Vodari, we need to find the House Tea Leaf people.
Guessing that's the leaf that's on the coat.
It is, and from what I know of them, they are a very rich merchant's guild.
Oh, like this tea leaf, and then Grimir
Yes.
shows the ring.
Yeah, that I'm guessing you took that from the captain, didn't you?
I thought that was
Yes.
a tree.
The captain that was missing half their face and happened to be a drow.
Is tea a tree?
It
No,
is not.
It is not. But you get. But tea
In
is
character.
Oh,
No,
shit.
no, Grimir, tea is not a tree, but tea is made from leaves, so technically the guild name is accurate.
Ah,
Well, as long
it's
as they're
not, but it
going-
is.
As long as they're not going to bother us and they pay us some, and we can get some money out of them, I'm going to leave them alone.
Now is not the time for puns!
Oh, I think you said leave wrong.
He did not. He did that intentionally.
He intentionally said leaf instead of leave?
You'll understand puns one day. But just not today. Like I'm almost thinking I have to get you a dictionary, but to get you a
How do
dictionary,
you
I have
leaf somebody alone? What, are you like gonna throw leaves at him?
yes.
It's called a play on words. You see, the word leaf and
There
leaves
must be a squid
are really
thing.
close to each other.
Skull, there's no point in trying to explain it to him. We need a dictionary for this, and I don't think he knows how to read.
They were close together. Leaving is totally different than leafing.
Listen to the way it sounds, not the way it's spelled.
Well, sure, they sound kind of similar, but they're totally different things. I mean, one of them you walk away, and one of them you throw a bunch of leaves at somebody.
You throw the leaves at them as a distraction so you can walk away.
Yeah, so you can leave, but then you're leafing and leaving.
Anyway, let's get back to the ship.
I thought you were already pulling. I'm still rowing because we need to tow these two very inconspicuously intact crates.
Oh no, I'm still swimming. I'm just saying that out loud now.
Good. I was hoping you were just leaving me to row these things back to the ship all by myself. I mean,
No, don't worry, Val. I
definitely do
have
it.
great expectations for what's coming.
I hate you.
You said great wrong this time. What's a great expectation?
Don't worry, Grimir. I'm just trying to make Valor's
Well-
head hurt.
Did he hit it? Did Skull hit his head down there?
No, I think he's just suffering from oxygen deprivation.
Wait, has my mic?
Can you not breathe underwater?
On my side.
No, we've been able to hear you.
No, on the
On the
stream.
stream, yeah.
Yep.
I had my mic muted.
We are professionals.
Well, so if anyone wants to hear all the bad puns I made, you can watch the VOD over on Dr.JWolfenstein's side. Or when it gets uploaded to YouTube.
Anyways, what's a crate expectation?
It's so okay. Just to make myself, have a reason to, keep Grimir from asking insipid questions. A crate expectation is like a crate. You don't know what's inside the crate until you open it.
So it's like a mysterious expectation.
Yes.
It's like a surprise.
Yes.
Why do you think Valor's gonna surprise you, Skull?
Well, if he keeps at making weird puns, I might surprise him with a calamari dinner.
I mean,
For
the
everyone
others of my
else.
kind did taste
That
pretty
seems
good.
insensitive.
I mean, he is deliberately making puns to make my head hurt. You think that's sensitive?
Well, all he said was he had great expectations for you. He's just
You
trying to
see-
be honest.
The amazing thing about puns is they only hurt the heads of those that understand them.
I still don't
I know. We
what
know.
that means.
We know.
All right.
So
You are adorable, Grimir. Just one day you will understand puns and how to make them. Until then,
I just think it's a bit rude to throw leaves at people.
and on that note, and on the note of I think it's rude to throw leaves at people, leave it alone. Good one, Shagger. Nyafta,
Yeah?
you and Scram have been on the ship kind of keeping an eye on Valor
Mm-hmm.
and the boys as they, went off.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine I don't imagine, I know. There's another spyglass on this ship. Are you keeping an eye out? Are you alerting the crew to be ready to receive wounded or trade goods? What is your plan while they're off doing this?
I'm going to alert the ship so they're ready to receive people.
Okay. So, Doc ends up coming onto the deck of the ship, looking around. Where are the new patients?
They are to come. We need to be ready.
Oh, awesome. I shall be ready. I only warn that I cannot cure death. Death is not damage. Death is ending.
Understood.
permanent.
Okay, so long as they are not dead, then I will be sure that they stay not dead to the best of my abilities.
Mm-hmm.
I love Doc so much.
Octavia, of course, she comes onto the ship. I've got a few healing potions, and I've got, what I think is an anti-drowning potion.
Wait.
Hey, what? So if you have water in your lungs, this particular potion, you drink it, the water leaves your lungs, and it attempts to kickstart your lungs. If you haven't been drowned for more than 10 minutes, you should be able to get back up. Theoretically, I haven't tested it on anyone yet. What I designed it to do. I see. I do not have lungs. I would not be a good test subject. Fuck. Huh? Can we drown you? I'm going to say no.
No. Nobody's drowning top.
Oh. I suppose we'll have to wait for our medical inventiveness to have a natural participant.
Yes.
Captain, I get ready with nets for throw in water, catch peoples.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I don't know who drew that, but damn, somebody made fuck a beefcake.
Of course, fuck is a beefcake. Like,
Yes.
It rocks. How would he not be a beefcake?
also, I will firmly say that all of these images are AI generated. Some of them are generated by the Ancient Mimic Tavern. I don't know what program he uses. Some of these are done using Midjourney. So
That is big boy.
I take no credit for them, and if you know who the original artist is that inspired them, please let me know so I can put their appropriate credentials in the clips.
I feel like Tiny Sensei should look a little older.
Tiny Sensei should look older.
Looks a little different.
He's older than you.
It has been requested that everyone hydrate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hydration!
I am out of water. I might need to go get a new bottle because this one's starting to smell like a recycling
I
bin.
have my water
I've been
right here.
hydrating all day.
Alright, so. Scram, hydrate.
Difference is, now we've been paid to hydrate.
Well,
I drank.
Hey.
Correction,
Hydrate.
you've been paid.
I drank 48 ounces within
I mean,
like
you're
an
all
hour.
right, but-
I'm out of water. Can I go get some more?
Yeah.
Yes, you should always have something to hydrate with on hand.
Well, in that case, I'm gonna go get myself some more water as well.
Yeah. So, as you're kind of getting the ship ready, Mojo and Curly, which I still need to come up with images for them. Actually, if anyone in the audience is an artist and you want your art to be on this game, all you need to do is send me a picture of a simple deckhand pirate, male preferably, and send it to me via YouTube or Twitch direct message. You can also send it to Crowlot, and if we like it, we'll use it, and we'll give you full credits. I always encourage artists because I love artists. Between Roan, Nyafta, and Scram, we have 3 artists of great talent on this crew.
I'm working on it now that I actually have an art station set up out in the living room. I just need to do it.
My art lies in painting minis and writing stories, as you can all tell.
Snackies for the day are Laffy Taffy.
Nice.
I would share with the group if the group was here.
Yep. My snacky is pizza. But
I found 10-calorie marshmallows. That's my snacky.
10 calories, like each marshmallow is 10 calories?
Mm-hmm.
Dope.
That's pretty sweet.
Alright, but as Cade comes up onto deck and oh shit, I need one for her too. Oh shit. I forgot Arara! No! Oh no, I just got busy, but
She's hardly ever seen, so
fair point. But as Cade comes up to stand next to you, Nyafta, he kind of looks. Do you really think there'll be any more people to save?
Be ready, especially for our crew members that are not here.
Well, hopefully they find something worth this trip. Frankly, I'd like to know more of the story, but seems these two told all they know. Pleasure cruise, pirates attacked. It's a nasty business.
Yeah.
Well,
Patience.
well, Captain, you're in charge, so preparing for possible rescuees we shall. Falk, be sure you use the gentle net. Oh, okay. And he puts down the one with like hemp, and you can see like the fibers sticking out, and it's clearly like rough looking. And he pulls out one that's still, it's still hemp, but there's like canvas like on most of the knots and like kind of on the inside, so people don't hurt themselves or get cut up. And Cade just shakes his head as he walks off to assist Thok. Meanwhile, Missy comes up from the cannon deck. Do you want me to have a cannon ready, just in case they bring back some unwanted friends?
Mm-hmm.
She says, looking to you, Niafta. You are the captain.
Oh, darn it. It's a little too much responsibility, but okay. Grimmir's out. Let me see.
This is Missy,
Mm-hmm.
Grimir's partner in gunnery.
Yes.
Aye.
Missy. What is there that is needed to be done?
I can have a cannon ready to fire in case something's following them in the water. Nothing you need doing, only me. Wouldn't take long.
Mm-hmm. Do you need other people to assist you with that?
I'll take Joe, she says, gesturing to one of the trio. I'll take him. He's got strong arms. He can load the cannonball while I take care of the rest.
Sounds good.
Aye, Captain. Joe, this way, powder monkey. Did I get a promotion? He asks as he moves off. He moves off down into the gunnery bay. Scram, have you returned?
Hi, I have.
You can see there's a flurry of activity. What are you doing?
I don't know what I'm doing.
Panicking.
So, you're just kind of staying out of the way, kind of watching everybody then?
Pretty much, yeah.
Alright.
Which isn't really much to RP, so.
No, but you stand there and you're kind of keeping an eye out. You see all this movement and, it's
Just
a little
stand
bit.
there and look cute.
It's a little exciting, I mean, there's the potential of some new people coming on board, and who knows what kind of treasure they might find. So, some deep, small part of you is feeling invigorated at the idea of adventure and treasure and being a hero. Some small part of you, that small part of you that still believed in the knights and the old stories of heroes that you would occasionally hear from some of the older children, or from some of the passing minstrels and bards in the town and port.
That sounds nice.
And as you wait, the ship, or the dinghy, kind of bumps up against the ship, and Mo and Curly send down lines in order to grab onto the dinghy and hoist it up. They won't be able to do so with Valor inside the ship or inside the dinghy.
I know. I'm heavy.
Yep. Well, frankly, they're also weak.
I have to use my upper body strength to climb up the side of the ship.
Well, thankfully you have a lot of it. Though Thok sees the 2 crates and he, oh, cargo! And he grabs the rougher net and throws it down and manages to, like, loosely grab one of the crates. He then looks down at Grimir. Dwarf! Stretch! And he's, like, pointing.
Aye, aye. And, I stretch out.
No!
As I'll set the net around it.
The net Grimir.
Thok not.
And I'll jump in. I'll start.
You
I
manage.
assume he meant like get the net around the thing.
Yeah. You can between you and Skull, it takes just a quick moment as now both crates are inside the one net, and Thok just begins to, and he pulls and pulls, and Octavia is just kind of standing there, just remind me never to piss him off. He might rip me in half.
I kind of do. I hear that as I'm like,
You
like
do right
getting up to the deck.
No, but Scram does. Because Octavia is just kind of off to the side.
Well, he doesn't sound like someone who would get mad.
Ah, sweet child. Everybody gets mad at something. It's just a matter of what. So, try not to make Thok angry. I don't think he'd hurt you, but I'm also going to try not to make Thok angry. I think that's a smart decision.
Yeah.
And she, like, hands you a wrapped something. If you open the wrapping,
I do.
you find a toffee.
Oh.
It's candy.
I asked my deities what this is because I've never seen it before.
One deity smiles. It's sweet. Another one, it's sugar. And the last one, eat it, eat it, eat it.
I shall pop it into my mouth.
It is very sweet. It is very delicious. And you have not tasted something this sweet and this delicious ever.
Oh.
Sounds of happiness.
Yes, sounds of child experiencing candy for the first time. And she just like nods as Octavia just kind of looks you over. Not touching you because, again, kind of everybody's heard that Scram is not the physical affection type, so she just kind of
that I'm explosive? Yeah.
Yeah. So just kind of puts her hands in her apron with the anti-drowning bottle kind of in her, like, you know, held in her hand at the ready. As you all get on board the ship, though, obviously the crates are lifted up. Grimir and Skull are able to get out of the water. The dinghy is brought up, and no survivors. And Doc just, oh, it seems my services are not required. I suppose I shall go back to the med bay. If you need
Doc.
me,
Yes, please.
it's quite
Yes,
all right.
ma'am.
It is a good thing sometimes when I do not have patients. It means everybody is safe. And I am doing my job. And with that, Doc, like, wanders off down below decks. Kay just, Cotton, I think we have something interesting here. And he hands you the glass case, which is still in the boat. And he hands you the glass case with somebody's journal or, you know, captain's log inside of it.
Where's Cade?
He's the one who handed Nyafta the book just now.
Yep.
The book doesn't have the insignia, does it?
No. The book is a plain leather desk journal. So it is big. Like, it's a fat thing. But,
Have I been shown the sigil on the ring?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Okay.
I will explain to Cade and Yapta, since I'm probably close by at this point.
Yeah.
That was a House Tea Leaf pleasure cruise ship.
That's what I was thinking.
That's tea leaf.
Yeah, I can already
Yeah.
sense the history coming off you there, buddy.
It's
Mhm.
not bad history. Mags never did any harm by them, but they are very powerful. None of their ships, though. He kind of looks to Uniafta. At
Mhm.
least one mage is on their ship at all times, which means if these pirates attacked a pleasure cruise, not only were they able to defeat the mage, or the mage was in on it, and heavens forbid either outcome. But if a pirate ship attacked a tea leaf vessel, they would have had to contend with actual magic users, and not unskilled ones at that. House Tea Leaf is infamous for its potent force of sorcerers, warlocks, and wizards.
I'm well aware.
Uh,
It could maybe could have been like a surprise attack. Maybe they didn't give them time, to prepare and stand.
I hope so. Although, frankly, to be honest, I'd rather deal with Tea Leaf than Hemlock. So.
Agreed.
And he kind
I
of
don't know. I don't know what the state of the ship under the water looked like. You'd have to speak to Skull and Grimir about that, but
It was pretty broken.
Skull, was there anything else down there? Anything that you could have discerned as magic related? Like, you didn't see any mage corpses or anything, did you?
Nothing I could describe as magic. The only other thing that might have been out of the ordinary was that there was someone in the brig that looked like they had gotten bloodied up pretty good.
That doesn't sound like a mage.
Probably not.
Could it be possible that the Hemlocks are involved in this attack against the tea leaf?
Frankly, it's possible, but I don't think it's likely. I mean, their thing tends to be poisons.
What was that? What was that ship that forgetting his name. James? What?
The
What was ship
the
James
Black
came from?
Rose.
He said
Says James.
Well, do you, based on your experience with the Black Rose, do you think they have the capabilities to take on a tea leaf ship?
Not since losing me. And frankly, I heard that Silver was kind of on the outs with the captain before I left.
So, I guess they're out. So, I did see a ship way off in the distance. They were sailing away pretty rapidly. So they were even on my spyglass, they were well out of my view.
They've also probably had quite the head start.
At least a day or two, by sounds of it.
Given how fresh those bodies were, this may have happened possibly hours before we came back.
I'd imagine hours.
Hours? But didn't the dwarvish couple, or the smaller couple that we rescued, say that they were sunk like a day ago?
Indeed, but doesn't necessarily mean that their ship was the one you just investigated.
How many pleasure cruises is Tea Leaf doing nowadays?
I don't know about how
much money
many,
would you
but
like to make?
There's that. There's also the possibility that they sent a fleet or a small group of ships together to make it less of an attractive target.
How many ships did you see under the water?
I just saw the one. And with the others, the couple were floating on what was left of the ship. I wouldn't have been able to find anything on that one.
It was the ship intact when you got down there? I mean, as intact as it could have been, considering it was sunk.
It was missing about 2/3 of the ship. The rest had sunk into the depths.
Well, I mean, I think we shouldn't tarry here any longer.
And
Make our way to
I can
Veraki.
agree with that. If we're here for more than a day, it's possible sea dragons may come out of the rage.
I'm sorry, why?
Oh yes, if you're near shipwrecks this close to the rage, it's very possible for Leviathan-class creatures to come up, especially sea dragons. They very much do enjoy eating feeding frenzies.
not to mention the possibility of gathering anything that was left behind, gold, plunder, and the like. Dragons be dragons.
Right then. Sails away, let's go.
Well, helmsman, I believe that is your job steering the ship.
Never mind, to the wheel. Me slithering one way to go deal with the sails, turning around, slithering the other way.
I'm gonna lean over to Grimir. Do you think I scared him, letting him know that sea dragons might be about?
Nah.
Nah.
No, he does this sort of stuff all the time. He's got to be used to all that kind of stuff, you know.
Fuck you, motherfuckers, to a sea dragon. I look like a big juicy worm.
Oh, so what you're saying is we have bait.
Now hold on.
Captain, says Cade, looking up at you, Niefta. You and I should go over the book here.
Sure.
And he kind of looks to the rest of you. Grimir, Skull, dry off and get yourself something to eat. You done well.
Oh, where's our treasure hoard?
Believe it's in
Uh,
the
in-
captain's quarters, actually.
In the captain's cabin. You have something to deposit?
Not an addition to make.
All right, well.
And I hold out the hook very proudly.
I lean down to Cade. I kind of lean over to Cade. Just let it. Just go with it.
Cade shrugs.
Oh, speaking of things that we found, fuck, did you happen to figure out what's in those crates?
Oh, I wasn't told to open them, so I just brought him on
Oh.
board. And he's just staring at them.
Well, if you would do the honors of opening them.
A man after my own heart.
Captain, should I open them?
Yes.
Okay, he grabs the lid and just rips it off. No crowbar or nothing, just
Mm-hmm.
Remind me never to get on your bad side. Because
What
that might
bad
be
side?
my head one day. Never mind.
Cade, which side is a bad side? Don't worry about it, Thok. Just what's in the crate? Boxes. And he reaches in and he pulls out a box. And on the box, it reads, House Tea Leaf Tea Company. Fine teas. And it lists the name of the tea in question. This particular tea is Earl Grey. Why not?
Looks
Well.
superb.
I think we might be able to pay the entire crew for a month or two.
Well, that's assuming House Tea Leaf wants this stuff back. It's been sitting in the water for quite some time.
He opens it.
Very likely.
I mean, there's no water in here. He says, pulling
Yeah.
out a dry brick of tea leaves. He
You're
then
a
looks at it. And then he,
Actually,
like,
crates were made so well that they did stay fairly airtight for a good while until they sunk.
he then, like, takes the brick and bites it in half. And then just... It's not good food.
It's not meant to be food, Thok. It's meant to be... I don't think I can explain this to you without
He
sounding
puts
like
the
a
other
moron.
half of the brick into his mouth and just chomps as he's watching you. Just listening.
Okay,
Oh, I believe he just ate his wages.
Thok,
Glorious man.
Thok, you're supposed to turn that into a drink.
Oh. You should have said
Don't-
something sooner.
I should have. That's on me. Agreed. But maybe
No, let's not use any more of it. We could get quite a lot of money for this.
Yeah, just put it
before
all
we
back.
get any more ideas.
Put it all back in the crate. I'm assuming House Tea Leaf will want this stuff back.
Cade, how do I get the brick back? Not that one. You can have that one, Thok. Oh, can I have the box too? Yes. And he, okay. And he takes a bite out of the box
Mhm.
and just begins to chew.
I love Fox so much.
Box doesn't
Okay,
taste
well
much better.
I don't doubt it.
And he
Well,
just
let's get
pops the rest into his mouth.
Anyways, let's
go deposit loot. Woohoo!
Should I open this next box though?
Well, if one was tea, I imagine the rest of it should be tea as well.
Oh, okay.
Probably, but we're gonna make sure.
Okay. So he grabs the lid and rips it off, and he frowns.
Mhm.
I don't like it.
What is it?
You look inside, it is fancy looking linens. Tablecloths, napkins, handkerchiefs, all made of silk.
Yeah, don't eat that.
You can't eat sailcloth. Stupid.
That's not. Those aren't sales.
Don't give him any more ideas. Let's just go.
Of course it is. It's the Cade, you call it cloth. I thought it's not for using on the sails though, so just find a way to reattach the lids. Oh. Okay. And he like takes the lids and he starts like straightening the nails with his thumb and forefinger, just pulling them straight again. And then he just sets it onto the box, and then just on the left and right side, he just brings down his fists, and they just thunk.
I'd love to see what would happen if we were to just set him on a Leviathan.
That probably.
I've seen people wrestle giants before. I feel like he could wrestle a giant.
My guy, this man single-handedly dug our ship out of a sandbar with 2 shovels.
I have 2 hands.
Yay!
Fuck, you're my favorite.
I don't think there's anything this man can't do. Anyways, lower the sails, hoist the anchor, let's go.
Well, we headed to now.
Varaki. Still.
Scram, as Thok walks past you, he hands you a piece of the box that has the golden like tea leaf on it. Here, it's shiny and pretty. You can has.
Oh. Okay.
Well, Doc no have room for small pretty things. You has. He says, pointing to your little array of your deities.
Oh. He's not wrong.
He nods, and then he takes his finger, like his index finger, and he gently taps your head.
Thok, you are a brave, brave man.
What? I'm a half orc.
You are a brave, brave half orc.
That's right. And he walks off, and he pulls down one of the sails, getting it ready, and you just, again, Octavia just, he eats. Why do I have to cook? He literally will eat anything. And she just storms off in a huff. Just fucking, my job is so irrelevant on this fucking ship.
The difference between bravery and stupidity is fear. I don't think there's any fear in that man.
I don't think there's any fear in anyone that comes up to him, because if anyone comes up to him, they're already fucked.
Mama thought be dangerous. He says as he pulls. Even Cade looks at this point. He's like, "You never told me you had a mother." Well, everybody has mother.
Everybody has a mother, yes.
You think he just came out of the ground?
Cade looks at you like, "Would you be surprised if he did?"
Honestly, no. But I mean, I don't like to make assumptions.
Where is she, Thok? Where the fire is.
Oh, volcanoes.
Volcani.
I don't know
Sorry.
big words, but they're fire. And it, like, lots of fire.
Volcanoes.
Okay. And he just
that-
pulls. And Kate just looks to you. Cotton, let's go over this book, shall we?
Yes.
And he looks to Grimir. Grimir, come on, and you can deposit your haul into the coffers.
Yes.
Yes. And as you do, he leads you into the captain's cabin. Again, you have.
As they walk away, I'm gonna toss the gemstone to Cade.
He catches it. And he nods. But Cade looks to you, Nyafta. Again, you've been in here. You're sleeping in here. These are your quarters. The cabinet, or rather the chest that he's talking about, you have the only key.
Mm-hmm.
So, you're able to open the chest, and as you do, Grimir, you see the coin and everything. Cade adds the semi-precious gemstone that he was tossed.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm dropping my golden fishhook in there.
Yep, you're very proud of your golden fishhook.
I am. I watch it as it clatters down into the mass of loot, and I feel a sense of accomplishment.
The first person that rifles their hands through that is gonna get a serious prick.
Yep, they are going to feel a stinging sensation.
Mm-hmm.
But with that, Cade, pats you on the shoulder, Grimir. Good work.
Thanks.
You should probably, head on down to the cannon deck. Missy
You're
was
right,
talking
I should
about the
check
cannons.
And
Yes,
Grimir
head onto the cannon deck before Missy kills Joe.
Meanwhile, Cade kind of looks at you, Nyafta.
Mm-hmm.
Well, do you want to pick this open, or should I, Captain? He says, gesturing to the locked glass case you have.
Can I run an Arcana check to see if it's protected with some kind of magic?
Yes, you can.
Because if it's really this is that then.
Nice. With a 23, there is no magic to hurt anybody that you can see. The magic seems to be in built into the case itself, which helps the glass be stronger, so it doesn't break easily. So while the actual box itself is just well made to be airtight, and again is made of glass, the magic is there to help the glass be sturdier. So you're not going to accidentally drop this thing and it's going to shatter. It'll take a significant effort to break this box.
Grimir, get back here.
I guess I can pick the lock.
No, fuck maybe, man.
But I do have the key, right?
Nobody had found the key, but you are able to try and pick the lock with a thieves' tools check. So thieves' tools check, querying dexterity.
Wait, where is that?
It's on the left-hand side where your instruments are, underneath your passive perception.
So I got thieves' tools.
Yep, click thieves' tools, and then it'll bring up a little pop-up window asking you what attribute to pick. You're gonna pick dexterity. And technically, you do have advantage because Tiny Sensei is here to kind of coach you.
Dexterity.
with a 23. It takes a little bit. It's a lot of fine tuning and a lot of, little tiny parts, but you eventually pop the lock open. Pop! And you actually hear a slight hiss as the thing comes open, and Cade just kind of blinks. Huh. Must have been sealed in a hurry. But as you're able to pull the book out, you open it, and on the front cover it reads, Captain Tiberius Greenleaf of the House Tea Leaf Trading Company, Captain of the Golden, it's a captain's log. Basically, every day or every week or anytime something interesting happens, he will write an entry. What happened, where it happened, when it happened. He'll give the coordinates and all that kind of thing. So you can search through this. Fantastic. So as you flip to the last entry, this one is written, unlike the rest of this book, which is written neat and tidy like, the last entry is actually like scribbled. It gives the coordinates, it gives the date, which this, according to the date, this would be like, yesterday. It doesn't give a time, so again, it could have happened anytime really, but it reads, the singing songbird has been sunk. Pirate fleet captured it. Currently defending as best we can. Magus says other magic users on pirate crew. Defending as best we can. If you find this book and no further entries, know that we lost.
Well, pirates then.
Aye. But it seems that, I wasn't too far wrong in that it was multiple ships, but again, that's concerning with a pirate fleet. A fleet can be as small as 3 ships, as large as, well, frankly, 50.
That's no cool.
Aye. That's concerning. Well, Captain, I think we should take this back to House Tea Leaf.
We should.
I think first, though, we should stop in Valledo to drop off these short-time passengers.
No problem. Do we have to deviate too much?
Nah, shouldn't be much of a deviation at all.
Alright.
In fact, technically, it's on the way. We'll go through, and he kind of gestures on the map. We'll go around Arushi, past Arula, and then Valledo is to the east of that. We'll anchor there for a day and a night, and then we can sail on to Vardi, which should only take us most of a day. Frankly, not even that, really. But,
Get the tripulation ready. We're setting course.
Aye, Captain. And, with that, he leaves and heads onto the deck, leaving you with the captain's log and the, treasure. You're able to read through the captain's log. Again, nothing very interesting is happening. Though the day before this entry, you do note that he notes that there are several strange ships. He says, by my count, there's 4. Though their numbers seem to change from night to day.
Huh.
But he distinctly has seen 4.
Okay.
And
is that like the max amount of ships that he's seen?
You don't see him mention any more. You do see that he mentions that there being only 1 or 2 spotted in a day. But they are drawing closer every time he spots them.
I see.
So it seems the most he's seen is 4, the least he's able to see is 1.
Okay. So we know that at least we have a fire fleet of 4, at least.
Yes.
God damn it. We're going to need help.
Well, making your own fleet is a possibility if you hire people or, look to expand your base. But again, those are options you can do. Or you can, of course, alert, proper authorities.
It's going to be hard. I mean, it is going to be difficult to find other ships, but what about other sea creatures?
It's entirely possible.
Mm-hmm.
But
We might be able to use some assistance from the Orkana people.
it is possible. They do
Mhm.
kind of owe you a little bit of a favor, or at the very least, they could keep an eye out for you. It's
Yep.
entirely possible. But
Mhm.
for now, you're headed to Vardy and Valledo first. So you
Yep.
make your setting sail and making your way there.
Mhm.
As you do so, the rest of the day, the next couple days are uneventful. Again, it's mostly just sailing to the location in question, which not
Mhm.
hard. The wind is with you. The sails are with you. Ultimately speaking, it just you're able to continue. It's not until not until you get to the strait here that things become interesting.
Okay.
Mostly you see a large number of ships coming and going. Normally that wouldn't be any cause for alarm, but you do see that there are many a warship coming and going.
Huh.
And so,
Do they fly any flags?
yes, all of them are flying Arushi flags. Arushi being
Okay.
the country that's next door.
Mm-hmm.
Do I recognize any of the ships as, like, these are all warships, so any of them could be military or mercenaries, so do I recognize any of them as the ship I was brought up on in my Marine Corps?
Roll a perception check, followed by a history check.
Perception 16, history 5.
No, you don't recognize any of these ships, but you do note that most of these ships are proper naval vessels. Definitely like proper naval ships. Ships of the line more often than not. Though you do see a few smaller ships, like fast moving, attack ships, and
Armed to the teeth.
more or less. Again, it's not something that Arushi is famous for. Frankly, the two are very. The country of Arushi has two big cities on it: Arula and Marie, or Mary, depending on your preferred pronunciation. Both of which, however, exhibit some of the most beautiful, highly developed feats of civil engineering and artistic expression in Vodari. They also host some of the dirtiest, poorest slums in the realm. There are... In Arula, you are able to find splendid cities, marble, very up, on the upper end. You also are aware that a fine, basically an elite force known as the Musketeers, are trained here. Founded centuries ago in Arushi, this group of elite guards serves the Arushi royal family. Only the most skilled with blade and musket are accepted into the order, regardless of birth or title. The musketeers primarily function as elite military assets and criminal investigators. That is kind of Arushi's claim to fame. The city of Mary, however, it is the most famous and expensive fine arts academies are here, as are many notable names in any conceivable field of the arts, including painting, sculptures, singing, dancing, music, and acting. This city is an unceasing succession of arts festivals and performances, its venues staying open later into the night than the other major cities around Vodari. This is likely your family at some point in their life, Nyafta, was trained in Mary.
Okay.
The the most famous and most influential of the Bard colleges call Mary home.
I see.
But again, as you're sailing through the strait, one ship in particular, this being a proper battleship, a proper ship of the line, it sends you signal flags, and then it follows with a booming voice of, "Prepare to be boarded and inspected!"
Okay.
I kind of is Scram nearby? Or
Yeah,
at least nearby to me.
I'm on deck.
I mean, that doesn't mean you're near the helm.
I don't know where I am.
Where do you want to be?
I could be near the helm.
Okay.
I kind of look down at Scram, then I'm like, do not panic.
I'm panicking.
They don't mean us any harm, little one. They're just cautious because we're an unknown ship.
They're going to touch me.
I won't let them do that. I promise.
Promise.
I promise.
Okay.
If they're gonna do it, it's over my dead fucking body.
Well, what if they take my hermit crab?
They won't take your hermit crab.
I already gave him a name.
They're not gonna take...
I don't want them to take little Peter.
Why do you have to be so fucking adorable?
Anyway.
He just starts crying.
I kind of like I don't like usher him without touching him over towards Roan.
Roan's nearby, and she just watches. And the ship pulls up alongside you as you kind of, tighten up the sails and allow yourself to be slowed. The ship gets close enough that they anchor up alongside you and set forth 2 gangplanks. And in short order, a group of 6 soldiers, led by 2 individuals, both arrive. One of the individuals is wearing full plate mail, and he is holding a set of balance scales. And he's just kind of looking at you all very quietly. The other, however, is wearing cloth armor, like leather, so free moving. You see a rapier on one hip, and on his back is a musket. And he gives a bow with a flourished bow with his hat. Greetings. I am Lieutenant Jacques Cousteau. I am here aboard your ship because I would like to see your papers. You are an unidentified vessel we have not seen in these waters before.
Oh, what the hell do we have those?
They'll be in the captain's quarters, Niafta.
Yeah, you'll have them, and
I
Kate
would
will...
think so, but...
You do have a letter of marque. You also have a letter of trade, both of which are signed by Zeleny.
While they're getting that, I'll just say to the lieutenant, "We are the Vesi's Mercy. We hail from not Zeleny, but Zavo. We hail from Zavo. We are currently on a escort mission to deliver a couple of shipwreck survivors to Valido, where then our destination is Veraki."
And are you the captain?
No, I am the.
I
I don't believe I'm the first mate. Actually, I believe that is my current role. I am the first mate.
He nods and he looks to Niafta. You would be the captain then?
Yes, sir, I am.
This is excellent. And he kind of looks as Cade hands the papers over. And he takes them and he inspects them. It seems your papers are in order. You are privateers in the employ of Zordeni, and you are currently carrying a certain cargo. My men shall inspect and make sure that your records all match. And as for the shipwreck survivors, I will be needing them to meet with my, let us call him investigator. And he gestures to the man in full plate mail.
I do believe they are in the med bay. I can lead you to them if you so desire.
No, Captain, please conduct me about your ship yourself.
Absolutely.
And he walks past you, and Cade just kind of watches the guy in plate mail follow after. Stuck up, ain't he?
Most military officers tend to be that way. Especially if they don't know you.
And the other men kind of go surge below deck, and Cade just gestures to you, Valor. Let's keep an eye on them.
Yeah.
I agree. We don't need them taking the tea leaf stuff.
Yeah. We have to surrender those.
We might not actually. We can just say we pick them up with the
I mean, you could call it a legitimate salvage, but we already know who this belongs to, so might as well retrieve. I mean, I wouldn't give a fuck if these people didn't know my name and my face, right?
They probably have a base in Valido. If that's where the ship hailed from, that's probably coming from Valido.
Yeah, this area.
Actually, the captain's log from the ship should say where they came from. So
it does, as a matter of fact, and it does say Valido. But Niafta, you guide him. You guide the lieutenant here to your to your guests. He proceeds to conduct an interrogation. And he kind of is glancing to the investigator, who just nods his head. And the one time he shakes his head, like, you see the lieutenant get, like, way, like, almost, like, borderline aggressive with the trying to find out information. Finally, they relent, and basically they say they don't remember much, they were adrift, and you guys saved them. Before they were just like, our ship was sunk, and, we don't know how we got on to we don't know how we were in the water. And of course, a little lie, but nothing much. But still, the lie seems to give him, give these inspectors some fits. Valor, you and Cade kind of keep an eye on the guys, and they have your ship's manifest. And they're, like, looking and inspecting, and then they, like, hand the manifest back to Cade, who just kind of rolls it back up, and they follow up. The lieutenant looks to you, Niafta. Well, it seems that you are correct, and you are doing a fine mission for these fellows, he says, gesturing to the two small ones. So long as my men do not report any misgivings, we shall happily allow you to continue about your duties and your work.
Absolutely, sir. Let me walk you to the bridge.
He nods, and as you guys emerge back on the main deck, his soldiers come up. Sir, everything is shipshape. There is no discrepancies in their cargo and their manifest.
Yeah.
He looks to you, Niafta. Seems you have excellent bookkeeping. I suggest you keep it that way.
Of course we will.
Well, if you should ever find yourself passing by these waters again, feel free to stop in Arula. We shall take note of your ship and your good standing. However, I feel it my duty to warn. I feel it my duty to warn you. We are hunting a band of pirates. At least 5 ships are left of the former fleet of 7. My men and the rest of the fleet have sunk 2. They came up from the Pirate Isles. We should have done away with them years ago.
When I saw that ship, did I catch the direction it was going a couple days ago? It was going east. I kind of like as a soldier, I stand to attention and say, "Sir, I have a report as to where these ships may be heading."
Well, tell us. Do it quickly.
Do you have a map? Because I will only be able to tell you which direction they were going from the position I was at that time.
He snaps his fingers, and one of his men produces a map.
I point to the position of where we found the sunken ship. This is where we were, and I saw them quite a ways off, heading eastward.
I see. And he kind of looks to the inspector. It seems that the reports that one of these captains was a Drake is accurate. They must be headed there. He shrugs. Very well. He then takes out a small coin purse and hands it to Niafta. We have a standing order of 5 platinum pieces for any information regarding these pirates. Should you happen to sink one, bring us the flag, and there is an outstanding bounty of 1,000 platinum pieces per ship of this group.
I will be most interested in getting that information, I mean.
And he hands you the little bag of platinum pieces. If we know where these scurvy dogs are headed, then maybe we can head them off. Back to the ship! And he looks to his men and they scurry off.
Alrighty. Everybody back in business. Woo.
You see Thok just kind of, They didn't look very scary. I thought you said they were scary, he says, looking to Cade. They are. Don't let yourself be caught with one of those investigators. They may call him that, but Inquisitor is far more appropriate a title.
Yep.
They're just clerics.
Ha! Aye, just clerics, you say. Well, except the fact that they worship no god that I've ever heard of.
Well, I mean, I worship a god of truth, if I'm not mistaken. No, I worship the god of discovery. They worship a different god.
Aye, they call him the Balancer.
That explains the scales.
Aye. And let me tell you this. He makes Teva look like a kind, gentle soul. How's
he make Vessi look?
Vessi just kills you. She doesn't torture you to death.
Nice. That explains why there's no imagery of her.
Aye. More than one friend of mine, back in the old days when I was a street kid, but more than one friend of mine lost his life at an Inquisitor's hand. They're definitely the kill them first and never bother asking questions, so long as it suits your narrative.
That explains the commotion we heard from the med bay when they were getting, shall we say,
acquainted.
heated in their discussions.
After that makes sense to you. One thing you noticed on the investigator's hip was a nasty-looking metal rod of some kind. You have no idea what it is or what it does, but it's very rusty looking, and yet still looks to be effective.
A rod.
Oh, thank God they didn't go around and.
Could it be some kind of magical item, since it has like a very old lugs on it, but it's still in order?
It's
and
entirely...
also, it's like if it's small to fit in a pocket, it's not like something that you could normally throw out of a ship, right?
It's
the coastline.
This particular rod is actually like the size of a nightstick, like a police baton. And it was on his hip, like it's a weapon that he would use, or like something he
like
would,
a whip.
Be ready to draw pretty quickly.
Sure.
But yeah, but Cade just kind of hisses at the idea. I'm glad you were down there, Captain, because frankly, I think they'd have been a little rougher if they didn't like our guest's story.
I fear they might have been rough if they didn't like our story. Also, like, they're already off the ship, right?
Yeah, they're gone.
I look down at Cade. You are very sneaky with those logbooks.
Not sneaky, it's my job. We brought in cargo, I put it as salvage. It's my job. But
you are very good at your job. I didn't even realize you did it.
Aye. I'm good at my job, so Nyafta can focus on important things, like negotiating and leading the ship and doing the real work. I just handle the tedium.
Someone's truly good at their job, you'll never see them doing it.
Aye.
Excellent point, Skull. But anyways, it seems like we are free to go at this point. Let's continue on to Valida.
Aye.
Before another Inquisitor ship decides that we aren't on the up and up.
Aye. And he kind of, looks around to everybody and like nods. Grimir, you saw these people come and go. Again, they weren't of interest to you, and you and Missy were busy cleaning the cannon, so like you were doing your job, and it was way more interesting.
All that's going through Grimir's head right now is, how do I shoot a cannon without getting seen?
How do I be invisible and shoot cannon?
How can I?
There is a way, but it requires There is a way to do it. It requires
this is in his head, Valor.
I'm just saying out of character. There is a way to do it. It just requires 2 specific spells.
Not a magic caster. But anyway. Whoop. There we go. My avatar went all weirdy. Yes, put a silencer on a cannon. Let's see how that goes.
Oh, you just need to put a zone of silence in, and then you have to put basically Cloud of Darkness, and then you have to have a magical ability or a magic item that allows Grimir to see in magical darkness, and he can fire a cannon without being seen.
Yeah, maybe.
We shall see. Hurt.
But, Scram, nobody seemed to notice you because you stayed out of the way. So,
Hooray.
That's good. And,
Success.
As you guys make your way, you eventually arrive. The next day, you arrive at Valledo with the morning tide. And with your arrival in Valledo, that will be where we stop for this evening. Because I know Crow has to get ready for work, and I need to catch some Z's myself. I have not been sleeping well. But
everyone has access to the party loot sheet, right?
Yes, everybody should have access to the party loot sheet.
All right, so I've been doing it by day, so everyone can see what we've picked up throughout the day.
Alrighty.
So you guys can have a look at that whenever. Anyways, I need to get going myself, so I will hop off.
But I would like to thank everybody so very much for watching. Thank you all for stopping in. No spamming ugly advertisements like that. Anyway,
Yeah.
It's not letting me delete that message, probably because we're sharing
It's because
chat.
I already banned them and got rid of it.
Oh, nice. Alright. But, of course, I could not do this alone. I have my fantastic cast of characters, and honestly, I couldn't do this without them. So, in the order they appear on my Discord, we will go to the immediate right with my Bruda Basta David playing Grimir.
Visible cannons.
Invisible cannons.
How do?
Invisible cannon.
And just remember, everybody, don't throw leaves on people. It's rude.
Yes, even if you're trying to leave them alone. And of course, to the very far right, we have my Ada Brada, Master Krolot, who was so kind in helping me share the streaming experience between his audience and mine.
I wonder if we could get Thok to wrestle a sea giant.
We might get to see something like this anytime soon, for what it's looking like.
And of course, directly beneath me, we have the lovely Laura playing Captain Niafta.
Hello, I still feel a little bit lost on the shoes of a captain, but it's okay.
You'll get used to it.
You got Cade. You got Cade there to help you. He's a tiny crutch, but he's a crutch. And then
he knows what's up.
And then, of course, we have Mr. Emil here today, who unfortunately didn't get to shine in the spotlight a lot, but that's okay.
I mean, I'll shine eventually.
Yeah, there's all. Oh no, don't worry, you will.
My
I have
entrance
plans
was
for you.
pretty explosive, so it's kind of hard to top that sometimes.
Yeah.
It's okay. Soon enough, you'll pop off.
And last but certainly not least, we have Vex playing Valor.
I miss military order on ships. It's just chaos.
Get fucked.
Yes.
At least you're on the SS, get fucked.
Hey, don't besmirch the name of the SS Get Fucked.
God damn it. We played that campaign for 3 sessions. And I just
3 sessions, and that ship will never die.
No. Although again, it spawned my single greatest quote. The bombardment deck. Is that where you get bombarded or do the bombarding?
Hey.
Again, it's Warhammer 40k. I wouldn't be surprised if they had a deck in a ship entirely to soak up damage. Just a useless deck that is meant to be shot at. Like, I wouldn't put it past them.
Yeah, it's the med deck.
Right? But of course, I have been your Master of the Seas, Dr. John Wolfenstein, and I want to thank you all again so very much for coming and supporting me, as well as Krolot and the rest of my fantastic crew. And until the next stream, please stay healthy, my friends.
Yeah.
Remember, patients and villagers, it doesn't take a lot to make someone's day better. So get out there and spread happiness like a virus. Why don't you? Bye, everybody.
Sneeze happiness everywhere.
Sayonara.